So now we're going to do a ratio problem that is going to be different from our previous two examples in that it's not going to be solvable as a proportion, but it's going to take advantage of the fact that it is a ratio problem. Let me read it to you first, and then I'm going to recap something before we go into the actual solution. So this is our problem. Packages of product and cash in a transportation vehicle are packed in a ratio of 5 to 2. If there are 959 packages in total, how many packages of cash are there? So, first of all, we can see the ratio is involved. We know that there are 5 packages of product for every 2 of cash. So that's the ratio, the relationship expressed by the ratio. And we're also told that there are 959 packages in total. Let me briefly do a little drawing here just to capture what's happening here. This is the transportation vehicle, of course. You know, something like this. With like a window and like a wheel here. Huge wheel here. And on the side probably says coffee or something, you know. Yes. Okay. So, okay, this is our problem. Now, before we solve this problem, and we're going to recap a little bit what division means, because this is going to play an essential role in this kind of problem. And this kind of problem is a very common ratio type problem. And so it's important that we know how to solve it properly. In order to do so, we're going to recap division really quickly. What does division mean? So division is a way of discovering how many groups of a given size can be formed from some given total. So for example, I'm going to throw a party. I have 24 guests. I have tables that can sit 6 people each. How many tables do I need? Assuming that we distribute them equally, I would do 24 divided by 6, I get 4. That means I'm going to need 4 tables of 6 people. Okay. So let me give you this example, which I've written here. We can interpret 48 divided by 6 as 8. As 1, you can form 48 things into 6 groups of 8 items each, or you can form 48 items into 8 groups of 6 items each. Okay, so I want you to, the reason why I'm recapping this, of course, is because I always want you to remember whenever you're doing a mathematical operation, what it means. We know addition is the combining of things. 2 plus 3 equals 5, because if I have 2 things and I add 3 more, I get 5 total. Subtraction, of course, is taking away. If I have 5 and I take away 1, I'm left with 4. That's quite obvious. Multiplication, we're not going to discuss it in detail here, but it's repeated addition. And in this case, we can see division is a way of finding out how many groups of a given size can be formed if we want to break them up into groups of the same size, right? 48 divided by 6 is 8, means 8 groups of 6 equals 48. Yes. Okay, now we're going to move on to the solution of this problem. Okay, so what I want you to realize about, let's recap what the ratio that we're going to be dealing with is. We know that the packages of product to cash are in a ratio of 5 to 2. So what I want you to imagine is this. 5 product, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of product. So this is product, 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 and product. And then 2 of cash. So I have cash, and I have cash. Okay? But, And what I want you to realize here is that what I end up here with is a group of 7 in total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Because they tell us that the shipment has a ratio of packages to cash of 5 to 2, we know that we can group all the packages like this. And that's where the division comes in. If we know that we can group it into groups of 7, of which 5 will be product and 2 will be cash, then we can see, aha, I want to find out how many times 7 goes into 959, right? So in other words, I want to find out 959 divided by 7, because this will be how many groups? How many groups of packages there are? How many groups of packages that satisfy this ratio? So let me perform this division here. 7 goes into 959. So I first asked, does 7 go into 9? And it does. It goes in once. 1 times 7 is 7, so I put that here. And then I subtract 9 minus 7 equals 2. And then I bring down the 5. I ask myself, does 7 go into 25? 7, 14, 21. It goes in 3 times. 3 times 7 is 21. By the way, I want you guys to pay attention that I always do my calculations carefully, because that's also very important to minimize the number of mistakes. 5 minus 1 is 4. 2 minus 2 is 0. I subtract and then I bring down my next number. 49. Aha! 7 times 7 is 49. So I put 7 here, and that's 49. So now, let me put this in a little box over here. Okay. So what does this 137 mean? It means that there are 137 groups. It means that there are 137 groups like this. So I know that there will be, since each group has 2 of cash, I know that I will have 137 times 2, which equals, let me calculate that over here, 137 times 2. 2 times 7 is 14, so I bring down the 4 and I carry the 1. 2 times 3 is 6, I add 1, I get 7. 2 times 1 is 2. 137 times 2 is 274. And so therefore I know that there will be 274 packages of cash. There are 274 packages of cash in the shipment. Yes. And so let me just briefly recap real quick what we did here. We read the problem. We realized that the packages were going to be shipped in a ratio of 5 to 2. And so we knew that we could look at the shipment as a set of groups of 7 items per group, where 5 of those items were packages and 2 were cash, based on that ratio. And then we know that there are 959 total packages, so we knew that we had to divide the 959 by 7 to find out how many groups like this were in the entire shipment. And then, depending on how much cash per group or how much packages per group there are, product per group there are, that will tell us how much to multiply the number of groups to get the cash in this case, or if we would wanted the product, we would have multiplied it by 5. Yes. Until next time, there you go.